I'm Jim Warren. We got Chuck Fuller on board. He's got the black and red shirt. Ryan Barbarak in the white shirt. Michael Lee in the gray shirt, and Craig Odom in the blue shirt. We're going to be your judges today. You have going to have 2 minutes to give us your final pitch, and then we are going to score. And then at the end of all the scoring, we are going to Ryan's going to talk about what based on the data, what we believe, what some of the issues are, just to kind of get everybody on the same page. And then after that, we are going to award a runner-up and then the winner. So hopefully you guys can stay on board. We should be done by about 10:40, 10:45 ish. And we're looking forward to it. So you guys have got 2 minutes whenever you're ready. And just let me know when you're going to start.
Yes, sir. And just to make sure we stay on at the end.
Yes. Yeah. What we'd like you to do is stay on after. You can turn your screen off, just so we don't get you confused with other people, but we'd like to have you guys stay on. And so you can hear what other people have done and then hear what the answer is at the end.
All right. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right.
I'm going to go ahead and start. So
Yep,
this
go
is
ahead.
Thank you. This is our 2021 Rodeo Detective team. One of the things that we noticed was that there was a lot of variation from the original mix design. As you can see here, the more variation in the asphalt content that there was, the higher rutting. So we think that's one of the issues. And there was also lower densities in all of the samples. So.
Those lower densities can be the result of one of the aggregates, specifically sieve number 16, being the restricted zone. Being the restricted zone means that there's more fine particles, and it doesn't allow for it to be fully compacted, so that results in a less dense mix.
Okay.
And so on the right side, based on the FWD data, they back calculated the moduli for each layer. And so the surface modulus, the HMA, is lower than what was in the design moduli. And then the CTB, which is cement treated base, is also too high. So.
And there was also a base mix substitution. So it was originally specified to be a performance grade 7022, but it was substituted for a 6422. And so the counties that this highway runs through actually have a higher recommended performance grades. And so that this may have caused cracking since it was lower than it was supposed to be. And from TxDOT, we also can see that the specified maximum recycled binder ratio for this substitution was 20%. And we could see from the mix design that they actually used 30%. So this could have also caused failure.
Right. And another thing was that when you make a substitution like this, normally you're supposed to pass the minimum Hamburg test requirements for the original base mix. For us, it was 15,000 passes. And as you can see by these numbers right here, none of them even got to 15,000. So all of these things make us think that it was a poor substitution and that it just could have been one of the main causes for the writing. So that's all that we have. So thank you.
Okay, awesome. Good job staying right on. That was right at 2 minutes. That was a great job, guys.
Thank you.
I know you guys are scrambling. I like the sliding with the chairs. That was pretty cool. Does anybody have any questions or anybody at all? Any judges have any final questions for our group here? Michael, you're good? Chuck, you're good?
Good. Thank you.
Ryan? Okay. Craig, you're good? Okay. So if everybody would go ahead and text Emily with your scores, and just so you guys know that we're each judge can add up to 5 points on a new set of score, and we're adding the average of that to the average of the original scores, and then however that ends up working out. So let me do that real quick while I'm thinking about it here.
Yes.
All right, Rafa and Sergio, we need to get started here. So as soon as you are ready, you'll have 2 minutes, and go ahead and start on your mark, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Is Rafa in?
Yes, I'm right here.
Okay, go ahead, Rafa.
The screen real quick. Can y'all see this?
Yes.
So according to the data provided to us, we speculate that various factors affected the asphalt. Our primary reason is a lack of temperature control while setting the asphalt. If the asphalt is not set at the right temperature, the strength of the asphalt will be compromised. In addition to temperature, we found that compaction was also another leading factor. In cement, the concrete's binding agent, it has a pH level of 11, making it alkaline. For cement to effectively hold the various components in it, it should have a pH of around 11. The problem is that the Portland cement does not resist many acidic compounds very well. As the acidity decreases below 6.5, concrete deterioration increases. And the more the concrete deteriorates, the more porous it becomes. We determined that the CTB moduli in sites 1 and 3 were far too high. When the base is too stiff, the deflection increases, which can lead to failure of the subgrade and the surface. Our suggestion is still SMA. It lasts longer, rust resistant. It has a higher asphalt content percentage. It is more expensive, but it is worth it in the long run. But if it is not properly placed, though, that will make no difference. That concludes our presentation.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Very good, very good. Does anybody have any questions for the team? Chuck?
Oh, I'm good. Those
You-
you're exactly right though. No matter what you put out there, if it's not put correctly, it's not going to
Okay.
work.
Good. Michael, anything? You're good? Craig? Okay. Where's Ryan go? I lost. Nope. I'm gonna.
No questions. Jim.
Okay, no questions for Ryan. Okay. Well, very good. Well, if the judges, if you could go ahead and text Emily your scores.
Good morning.
How are you, sir? Good
I'm
morning.
good.
All right, we got it.
Okay. We're here to present our case on the Road-eo 2021 pavement forensic investigation. We were given 4 lanes and their following test investigations. We know that there were successful pavement sections such as the subgrade cement treatment base and the super pave type C. The subgrade passed the average back calculated mole test. The cement treatment base passed multiple tests such as this average back calculated mole test, the phenolphthalein test, and the strain test. Then the super pave type C passed the Hamburg test. Through research, we arrived to the conclusion that the premature rotting was caused by a weak binder, weather conditions, and a high oil content related to the dense grade layer.
First off, let's start with the weak binder. We know according to the test provided that the dense grade layer failed, causing premature rotting. For example, there was stripping in all the lanes according to the board test. There was a binder substitution for performance grade 70 minus 22 to a weaker binder of performance grade 64 minus 22. And the Hamburg test did not pass the requirement set for it by the original binder in the 4 lanes. Weather also could have been a factor. The layers were exposed for 6 to 12 months in which it could have experienced extreme heat or wet conditions that could have weakened the overall structure of the pavement. Too much oil is definitely an issue. We noticed a trend in the air voids and the asphalt content. The more passes the lanes accomplished, the less air voids and asphalt content that sample had. Lane 4 came to the closest to passing, supporting our hypothesis, since it had the least amount of air voids and rotting and had one of the closest percentages to asphalt content requirements.
Therefore, we arrived to the conclusion that the rotting was caused by the dense grade layer.
Okay, very
And we're
good.
done.
Awesome. And you're
Thank
right up.
you.
All right, a little bit early, and that's great. We appreciate it. Does anybody have any questions? Nope. Chuck, Ryan, Craig, we good?
Great
All
job.
right. Okay, great. We appreciate it,
you.
guys. If you could go, if the judges could go ahead and text in your scores to Emily. Hello, ladies. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are y'all doing today?
Good.
Good. Well, we're gonna give you, this is our final, you got a 2 minutes there to give us your final pitch here. And then we will do some scoring, and you got some of the other teams online, so they're gonna be listening to you as well. So when we get done with this, we'll add up all the scores and we'll announce the winner. So you've got 2 minutes whenever you want to start.
Good morning. My name is Sarah De La O, and I'll be presenting our conclusions on behalf of the girls team from UTEP. First, we determined that the rutting was due to an inadequate pavement structure. This was concluded because all Hamburg specimens failed to meet the 15,000 cycles required for a PG of 70-22 when it was substituted with a PG of 64-22. Additionally, the modulus of the cement-treated flex base surpassed the target range, indicating that the pavement was too stiff, preventing it from becoming flexible. Second, there were unstable mixes resulting from uncontrolled asphalt cement content or poor plant operations, as the specific gravity of the mixes vary a lot throughout the different lanes. And as seen in the figures, the orange line depicts the optimum asphalt content for each mix. And for the dense gradient mix, a lot of the sites had a higher asphalt content, becoming more susceptible to rutting as the mixes would be more fluid due to the higher asphalt content. Third, there were poor quality control and quality assurance. This was concluded based on the variation of the in-place air voids. And for the superpave layer, lane 1 had in-place air voids that were higher than the upper limit. And overall, we concluded that the dense gradient mix was the largest contributor to the rutting distress because of the binder substitution and the composition of the mix. To briefly address the feedback on our presentation from last week, we determined that the binder bumping in the superpave layer was due to increase the stiffness of the top overlay. Perhaps rutting was observed in the dense gradient mix when it was exposed to traffic for 6 to 12 months and the superpave layer settled into the ruts of the dense gradient mix. We also looked at the traffic that it was exposed to, and based on the 20-year ESO projection, a dense gradient mix was adequate for a site as a base layer, but because it served as a surface layer for a brief amount of time, with the addition of its poor composition, its poor production, and its poor construction, the dense gradient mix failed. Thank you.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Does anybody have any questions? All right. If the judges would mind putting in their scores.
Good morning. We're the UTEP Rodeo Detective team, and we'll be representing the University of Texas at El Paso. In the surface layer, air void and asphalt content percentage proved to exceed the optimal range proposed in item 344 of TxDOT specifications. However, looking at the picture on the right, we can see there is no uplift along the wheel path. Therefore, the issue is below the surface. Data provided from the Hamburg wheel test further verified this assumption. It is mentioned that the base mixture had a binder substitution of PG 70-22 to PG 64-22. Although allowable, changing to a lower pavement grade can increase susceptibility to rutting. Asphalt content percentage was also observed to be beyond the recommended amount. It is also mentioned that the 3-inch base mixture was open to full traffic for 6 to 12 months. Cores observed never satisfied the Hamburg wheel test specifications, proving a depletion in strength of the base mixture before construction of the surface mixture above. Moving forward, through the phenolphthalein test, we can see that there is no erosion in the base layer. Using data provided by the falling weight deflectometer test, the bar chart above can be observed. Because there was a temperature correction factor in the hot mix asphalt layer, the design modulus was decreased to 240 KSI. However, in the chart, we can see that when tested, the modulus did not satisfy the calculated limit. The design range for the cement treated base layer was specified to be between 80 to 150 KSI. We can see that the range was greatly exceeded, providing an inadequacy in flexure for the layers above. This, plus deterioration of the base mixture, led to rutting observed in the lane widening project of Highway US 277. Once again, I would like to thank the judges for taking the time out of their day to be here, and thank you very much.
Excellent. Right on time. Good job, guys. Good job. Good job. So judges, any questions for anybody? I'm seeing none. Okay. So if you judges, if you would mind texting your score to Emily.
All right. I'm Rose Ladd for OU Asphalt. So first, we were able to quickly eliminate the causes listed here through research and analyzing the data we were given. We believe that the rutting occurred due to high asphalt binder content, low strength and stability mix, and a high air void content. Asphalt binder content is allowed to vary plus or minus 0.3% from the design, but 3 of the 4 lanes tested were more than 0.3% higher than the design. Since the asphalt content was too high, this could lead to a reduction in stability, which could cause rutting. Both asphalt layers were originally specified to use PG 7022 binder, but ended up using substitutions. Type B's binder was replaced with PG 6422, which has a lower max temperature. PG 6422 failed PG 7022's Hamburg rut test, which as a substitute, it should have been able to pass. All tested lanes reached the critical point before 15,000 passes. TxDOT specifies that the tensile strength of asphalt should fall within the range of 85 to 200 PSI. The core sample data we were given show that the cores were in the low area of that range or were below that range. This means that the asphalt's ability to bounce back after deformations has been decreased and could contribute to rutting. Similarly, the hot mix asphalt surface moduli fall below the corrected range and allow for too much deflection. Looking at the densities of the sampled cores, many of them have too few or too many air voids, both of which can cause rutting. And to follow up quickly on a question we were asked last time, Type C's binder was substituted for PG 7622, which is a very stiff binder that would impact the rutting resistance of the mix and would resist higher temperatures. The only reason I could find for the substitution would be that there were temperature concerns before they laid the final lift, or that they had concerns about rutting of the bottom layer before they laid the final lift.
All right.
And that is that.
All right, right on time. Good job. It's hard to do that in 2 minutes, isn't it? Y'all did
Oh,
a
yeah.
great job. Everybody, all the teams did a great job there. Does anybody have any questions for Oklahoma? All right. Well, if the judges would go ahead and get their scores in to Emily, she'll wrap those up. Everybody, you can come on back in if you want. Ryan, you're going to talk a little bit about what you believe might be some of the issues out here on this project, and the rest of the team that looked at it can certainly weigh in on it as Emily gets things wrapped up. And go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, thank you, Jim. Good morning, everyone. So my name is Ryan Barbarak. I am the Director of the Materials and Test Division here at the Texas Department of Transportation. Wanted to start by saying I really appreciated all the presentations and all the hard work that y'all put into this. I thought y'all did it. Everybody did an excellent job. I really enjoyed those presentations. So what I did is I said, okay, this is how I'm going to approach trying to determine the cause of the failure that we saw out in the field. And so what I decided to do was to draw my conclusions based off the same data that was provided to you for the case study. And through my analysis, what I determined is that it's probably not just one single thing that led to the failure of the road. It's probably a combination of things. And so I pointed out 5 different things that I thought might help to explain why we saw the failure that we did. And the first one was the CTB, the cement treated base. The phenolphthalein test did indicate that because it was pink, that chances are you had probably you definitely had cement in the mixture. Was it 3%? Don't know, but the point that I'm trying to make about the CTB was I did notice that it had higher strengths and modulus than what was required by specification, which suggests that it's stiffer than, and it did not flex as much as what was accounted for in the design. So I think the stiffness of the CTB played a role. One thing that I also noticed from the data was opening to traffic before placing the surface mix or that super paved C mix. So I do think traffic may have caused pre-rutting of the B-boy mix before placing the super paved C mix. And also looking from the picture that was given with the phenolphthalein test, I noticed that the CTB appeared to me to be very, very clean when that core was taken. So it's possible that the 3 inches of B-boy mix may have delaminated from the CTB. That is something that we would have to confirm with the cores that were taken, basically turn them upside down and see if we see evidence that the CTB was attached to the bottom of the B-boy mix. But just based off that visual, it could be that we saw some delamination between those 2 layers. And I think what's also important to know is that, you know, we designed this pavement for 5 inches of mix, not 3, right? So when we opened it up to traffic early, the traffic may have damaged the B-boy mix and caused pre-rutting. When I looked at the type or dense grade type B, I noticed that there was a lot of inconsistencies in the production. So the design was 4.7. But the production AC ranged from 4.8 to 5.9. I do believe that the high asphalt content played a role with rutting that we observed out in the field, in particular with the B-boy mix. And then I noticed on the pictures from the Hamburg, you saw a lot of evidence of stripping. And so to me, what that's saying is that there's not much cohesion in that mix. Of course, the boil test also showed evidence of stripping, and so did the low number of passes with some of the cores. So I think that part of this could be incompatibility between materials, which could be the asphalt and the gravel. I did note that there was gravel that was used in that B-boy mix. Typically, we have more challenges with stripping with gravels, not always the case though. And I also noticed or noted that there could be possibly clays in the screening. I think that's something we could check. And there was some evidence of high road density in the B-boy mix that could also lead to rutting. So when I looked at the type C, there was production inconsistency again. Design called for 5.3% asphalt, production range from 4 to 5% asphalt. There was some evidence of low density in some of the cores that were taken. Now, what could be possible there is that when the core was taken, it was taken in the wheel paths. And so if you had pre-rutting, when you roll hot mix, typically you basically are rolling it flat. So there's a chance that what could explain the higher densities is that fact that you may have bridged with the roller, which means that the mix in the wheel path may not have seen the same compaction as the mix outside of the wheel path. But of course, we'd have to take a look at the core locations to know that for sure. And then I did see some evidence of stripping in the Hamburg, which is why perhaps we increased the binder grade. Typically, we binder dump is the term that we used. In the case of the type C mix, we bumped, right? And then I also could not rule out weather or included weather in my analysis. I do think temperature didn't help, hot temperatures, and then potential water. You know, as we all know with pavements, it's very important to seal water out, keep it out of the pavement structure for good performance. So Jim, that's my thoughts.
Okay, very good. Did you want to talk about the opportunities in Texas, Ryan?
I did, Jim. And so I wanted to say, first off, again, thank you everyone for your participation in this. And if you enjoyed this experience right now, and you are looking for, you know, basically a career, right now, we have a position opened up at the Materials and Test Division for an engineering assistant. I would encourage you to apply if again, you know, you're looking for a career. Also, I would encourage you to take a look at the TxDOT website and also see if, you know, so this position would be here in Austin. See if, you know, when you are ready to start looking for your career, in case if you're a junior or you're not graduating, or you're not going to grad school, I would encourage you to take a look at the TxDOT website and see what TxDOT can offer you and see what TxDOT can do for you. So.
Very good. Thank you, Ryan. And Michael, do you want to put the industry pitch there?
Absolutely. So, folks, Michael Lee retired from TxDOT, now work for AGC of Texas. And what I would say to you is, if you're interested in a career and you want to work in Texas, where all the construction dollars are going, then you need to contact us. Like Ryan, I would encourage you, if you want to work for TxDOT or industry, reach out to us even. And I assure you, I still have contacts with TxDOT and can help you with placement across the state if you're interested, or if you want to work with in the industry. A lot of summer internships and permanent jobs. As many of you may know, we've hired several off of this program over the last few years. And so anyone puts forward this extra effort is that's a good sign on your resume, and industry and TxDOT are very much open to hiring folks like this. I will put my contact information in the chat, and be sure and capture it and send me an email if you would like assistance from me.
And I
Thank
will do
you.
the same.
Thank you, Michael. Yeah, and on behalf of TxAPA and the whole industry, again, just a huge thank you. Hey, the rest of you guys out there, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and turn your cameras back on so we can see as we start wrapping things up here. But huge thank you for all you guys, for all your efforts. When I talked to Chuck Fuller, who he's a couple offices down, we get invigorated by seeing you guys put this kind of effort out above and beyond everything else that you're already doing. And it's a great thing. It's a great thing. So Emily has emailed me the final numbers, but I want to give Emily a chance to talk about what's happened just this past week as far as funding goes. So Emily, give us the good news.
So we learned yesterday in a meeting, I had no idea, this just got approved, but we were originally, I guess, competing for $1,000 scholarship for each member of the winning team. That amount has been raised to $2,000 per person on the winning team. And our runner-up will receive $1,000 per winner on the team. So that's pretty exciting, y'all.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. So you guys ready to hear the results? All right. So again, a lot of these numbers are close. We're not going to give them to you, but a lot of these numbers are close and we're really excited about it. Again, a huge thank you again. We want to make sure that, if you're a runner up or winner, Harold want to make sure we got your contact information so we can get a hold of you and get you your check. But Harold Mullen, the executive vice president, also wanted to say is we want to come see you guys and meet you in person and give you the official large format check and meet you guys and talk to you in person at some point in the near future. So I'm gonna shut up. Here we go. All right. The runner-up of the 2021 TxAPA Rodeo is the UTEP Girls. Congratulations, girls. Awesome.
Woo-hoo.
All right. So the UTEP Girls are the runner-up this year. Each one of you will be receiving a check for $1,000.
Woohoo!
So, all right. So the winner of the rodeo, the winner of the 2021 TxAPA Rodeo is the Louisiana Tech 4, the group of 4 from Louisiana Tech. Okay. So huge congratulations, guys. Hey, come on back online. What do you think? How's that sound to you guys?
We're really excited.
We're awesome.
I have no words. I'm really, really happy. Congratulations to the UTEP girls also.
All right. So guys, we're excited about it. The rest of you guys did an excellent job. Again, we're just pleased as punch to do this. And if you're not graduating this year, we're going to be back in person next year, one way or the other. We're going to be building slabs and we're going to be here at TxAPA. We're going to be busting stuff and having a good time. So look out for announcements. We may change the timing a little bit to help out, but we're really pleased about that. So judges, have you got anything to say before we close out?
I take my hat off to everybody who participated. I've done this since that's my 4th one, and I'm telling you, you guys have really impressed me, and that's saying something. I'm telling you guys right now, every one of y'all have really impressed me to a point that I take my hat off to every single one of you. Thank you so much for putting the time and energy and effort.
Good job. Good job.
I would like to say that even if you didn't walk away with the top prize, everyone won, and you all won because now you have some great contacts in the industry and
Absolutely.
they're really serious. They're serious. I would love to be able to walk into a job right out of college that it's there for you. These are great contacts, and even if you don't work directly for them, they'd be willing to help you.
Absolutely.
Find your way. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Craig, as outgoing president of the association, you've got a couple weeks left.
Yeah, we're winding down the year, and I'd just like to say it's obvious that everybody did an enormous amount of work on this, and we really appreciate y'all's commitment in this process, and it's really really gives me bright hope for our future, because I'm telling you, there's a lot of work that goes into this for forensics from both the TxDOT side as well as the contractor side.
Dominique, could you mute yourself? Thank you. Go ahead, Craig.
Where you're really trying to get in here and find out what's going on so you can improve for the future. And y'all spent the time and energy to get in there and really learn what was going on in this. And y'all got right down to the crux of the problem. And that's really, really encouraging. I think all of you have a really bright future. We really hope that could be in our industry with us. We look forward to seeing y'all again soon.
Excellent. Anybody else? Again, we're just pleased. We wish you the happiest of holidays, and look forward to seeing you guys. I know you guys will be looking forward to getting your checks, and I know Harold wanted to get them out to you just as soon as we can, but we will be in touch. We're going to come see you guys, and we look forward to meeting you all in person. And again, we look forward to seeing you guys all here, whoever can make it next year at Texapa for our next rodeo. So happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas. Have a happy New Year. We're done. And congratulations, everybody. You did a
Congratulations,
great job.
everyone. Thank you so much.
Guys. Congratulations.
you.
Thank you so much.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job, everybody.